Thank you, all the participants and all the attendees who've taken time out and in these trying times to be here. First of all, just wanted to check and hope that all of you are safe. We know that there have been tragedies within our own organizations. A lot of us have suffered personal tragedies since last week, and we sincerely offer our sincerest condolences to your organization and to your families if you've been unfortunate to have witnessed any of the tragic events that have unfolded over the last week. So having said that, obviously a lot of interest is on vaccination. We've been having these discussions and these client debriefs over the last 9 weeks. I think this is the 10th week that we are meeting this Friday, and a lot of water has flown under the bridge since. The vaccination story in India is almost becoming like a cat and mouse game, with every 2 to 3 days some new twist emerging, and very often throwing a lot of our planning, a lot of our efforts into vain because of change regulations. So, Tanvi, if you can start moving the slides as well, please. So a lot of what is mentioned on this slide is going to be soon redundant, and therefore, let's not spend a lot of time on these slides. Beneficiary eligibility, we know what is there at present, but as per the rule that stands now from 1st of May, all the adults, citizens above 18 years of age are eligible for vaccines. Can we keep moving, please? Again, nothing changes here as well. We all know what are the 3 vaccines that have been given approval. 2 of these vaccines anyways have been in use since January of this year, Covishield and Covaxin. Sputnik 5 was the last vaccine that was given approval earlier this month. However, the doses are yet to hit the market, and we believe it will take another month or so before we start seeing some doses reach the market. So this essentially, stays in line with what we had discussed, even 4 weeks ago about the likelihood of Sputnik hitting the market shelves. Move on, Tanvi, please. Now, again, just to reiterate, and this is also relevant from where we stand today. The total number of vaccines that are being manufactured in India are largely happening out of 2 manufacturers, Covishield by Serum Institute and Covaxin by Bharat Biotech. The third vaccine, Sputnik, is currently being manufactured by Dr. Reddy's Laboratories, but so far the agreement with Gamaleya was that all these vaccines would be exported. Now, of course, the Sputnik would also be available for domestic market because it has been approved. Additionally, 5 other companies have been given license to manufacture Sputnik in India. So therefore, we believe that this with additional capacity now, Sputnik would also be available. Now, whatever total doses of vaccines that will be made available, we still, and all the experts across the country, believe that there would still be a significant shortfall of vaccines available versus those who are eligible to get vaccinated. And even when Sputnik, starts manufacturing and starts hitting the shelves. So therefore, out of that limited stock of vaccines, the union government has proposed that they will pick up 50% of the stocks, which will be reserved purely for the central government. And the remaining 50% would be distributed in the order of 50% between the state governments and the private vaccination centers. Now, these private vaccination centers could be hospitals, could be could be some large industries who have significant infrastructure, medical infrastructure in-house, usually large manufacturing industries governed by Factories Act, who can now apply for apply on CoWIN app as a COVID vaccination center. So it could be a mix. The state government has already instructed the PCVCs to go ahead and directly procure the vaccines from the manufacturers. So therefore, the present structure of union government sharing vaccines with the states and different PCVCs will cease to exist post 1st of May. That also will create, some amount of supply bottlenecks because of the ongoing shortage of availability of vaccines, and given the fact that 50% of the vaccines will be taken up by the central government, which proposes to continue vaccinating everyone above the age of 45 through the government vaccination centers only. Uttanvi, just please go back to the previous slide. I'll let you know when to move on to the next slide. Right. Now, there are, of course, other channels that the government is now exploring, which is to import vaccines or certain amount of vaccines coming in as aid. You may have heard in the media reports, India speaking to countries like United States to pick up AstraZeneca stockpile, which is available there. AstraZeneca, is not authorized to be used in US. It has not been given clearance, and therefore there may be a chance of up to 50 million doses being procured from there. But this is currently in the discussions, and we don't know when that stock would actually reach India, if it does at all. Move on to the next slide, please. Now, as of today, there are clear guidelines about what needs to be done. All the private vaccination centers have been told by the state government to procure the vaccines directly from the manufacturers. The reality on the ground is that manufacturers have gone back and said they don't have stocks available at this point in time. And it may take another 2 to 3 months before the stocks are available in sufficient quantity to be released to the private sector. And therefore, in this context, I'm sure a number of you may have received proposals in the last week or before that from number of aggregators, etc., offering services of on-site vaccination. In fact, even today, some hospitals and some chains may have reached out to you, asking for your interest and taking an interest form, etc. However, it has to be borne in mind that none of them are committing on when the vaccines would be available and what would be the end pricing of the vaccines. Currently, all the vaccines that the rates that have been declared are procurement rates. So, for example, you may have heard that both Serum Institute and Bharat Biotech have released the rates which they would be selling to the state governments and also to the private vaccination centers. There have been rollbacks both by Bharat Biotech as well as Serum Institute with regards to the rates that they are providing to the state government, but there have been no rollbacks on the rates that they will be providing to the private vaccination centers, and therefore we don't think there is going to be any significant pricing advantage, at this point in time for the organizations and corporates, because in most likelihood, any sort of tie-up, any sort of online on-site vaccination programs are going to be conducted through the private vaccination centers. Therefore, that is how things stand now. Please move on to the next slide. I'm not going to spend a lot of time here, once again, because all of this is going to change now. We knew that, there were two channels of vaccination, the government channel, which was free, about 10,000 vaccination centers, and the private channel, which was the PCVCs, about 20,000. This number has substantially grown since, but unfortunately, there is no availability of vaccines in all areas, either GCVCs or PCVCs. Also, I am going to be discussing a little later in this session latest circular from the Union Health Secretary that talks about the modalities of how organizations could register on CoWIN app as vaccination centers. So therefore, this slide actually is no longer very contextual to our discussion. If we could move on, please. Yeah, so I would like you to pay special emphasis on this slide. The government has actually gone ahead and outlined a regulatory framework for any vaccination center to have. And this essentially requires any organization that in future would want to register itself as a private vaccination center, it would be important for those organizations to ensure that these criteria are met. If these criteria are met on site itself, then that particular organization or workplace or industrial establishment can go ahead and apply on the CoWIN app through the district immunization officer as a private COVID vaccination center on its own. However, a large section of corporates who basically do not have a large workforce, who may be occupying multi-tenanted buildings or maybe 2 or 3 floors and do not have the large infrastructure requirement, they have been allowed to then map themselves with any private vaccination center, and then all their employees would then go ahead and choose that private vaccination center to get themselves vaccinated. But those vaccines also could be given on site, except that on CoWIN app they would be mapped to a private vaccination center that fulfills all these criteria. If we could just open the latest circular, then I could actually go ahead and explain the fine nuances of how the regulations would impact us starting from the 1st of May. So just allow us a second and we'll open the other document which I wanted to discuss with you. So there was a circular released on the 25th of April to all the state governments and all the PCVCs and GCVCs and to all the state health secretaries. What we have actually gone ahead and done is taken out that circular, and paragraph by paragraph we have highlighted those paragraphs here, and we have given our own interpretation. Tanvi, is there a way that you can increase the size so that it could be visible to everybody? Right, thank you. If you could just come down, please. So, thank you. So it will be mandatory for all government and private COVID vaccination centers to be registered on CoWIN system, regardless of the source of vaccine doses. And all vaccination centers will have to record vaccinations and issue digital certifications. They will also need to report any adverse effects post inoculation on the CoWIN system. Now, this is fairly self-explanatory, and this is a process that exists even today, except the fact that now workplaces and industrial establishments who have been given the leeway to register themselves, either themselves as vaccination centers or map themselves to the private vaccination center if they don't have the required infrastructure in place, they too would now need to be on CoWIN system. Anyways, all the adverse effects reporting, etc., was anyways being reported on CoWIN system as the process is today. So nothing really changes there. I have already gone ahead and shared in my previous slide as to what are the requirements, the regulatory requirements and the operational requirements that need to be there for any organization or any center to qualify as a vaccination center. So, I'm not going to spend a lot of time here, except the fact that, the place which the infrastructure should be sufficiently large in the way that it would accommodate people coming in for vaccination, to accommodate for people who are being held back for observation. It needs to have cold chain mechanism in place so that the vaccines could be kept safely during the duration of the vaccination program. And also there needs to be a proper trained manpower team with the vaccination officer, and a team that is trained on handling any adverse effects that happen on account of inoculation. So these guidelines are already laid out by the ministry. We have discussed it in the slide just before this. So that is again self-explanatory. We move forward, please. Yeah. Yes. So now I just mentioned that whichever industrial establishment which has a hospital. Now hospital is a broad term. Even large medical centers operated in large industries, would qualify as that, can be registered now on CoWIN. Now, for example, if Reliance, their Jamnagar petrochemical plant has a hospital on site, they could register themselves as a vaccination center. Any large campus, of, say, for example, if an Infosys has a large campus and they have an extensive medical facility on their campus, that campus can be registered as a vaccination center on the CoWIN app. So that essentially means that large industrial establishments who are governed under Factories Act should perhaps take this into note and maybe start applying for their own organization to be registered on the CoWIN app through the district immunization officer. Industrial establishment without the above facility can be registered as industrial vaccination center, but they'll have to map themselves with a private CVC, which means that, for example, an organization that occupies maybe say a 2 or 3 floor does not have an on-site medical center or has a small medical center that does not fulfill the requirement, then they can align themselves with any other private vaccination center. Could be a hospital, could be perhaps even an aggregator if they have the drug license, and then have them come over to the site and give vaccinations, except that all the employees in that particular organization would be mapped to that private vaccination center. Sorry, let me just get back. Yeah. Thanks. An important thing that has happened or is going to happen from the 1st of May is that the union government has now empowered the state government to go ahead and register any new application for a vaccination center directly on the CoWIN app. So far, this was being done only at the central government level, but now the state and the union territories will have the necessary powers to approve new COVID vaccination centers. Additionally, the states have also been, and states and union territories have also been advised to designate appropriate authority that would maintain oversight of the clinical requirements and infrastructure requirements in such centers. We have already discussed what those requirements are, above, and the designated authority has to take action within 2 days of receiving a request for registering on the CoWIN app to go ahead and register that particular center on the system, and therefore facilitating on-site vaccination for industries as well as workplaces. The other important thing that I have already highlighted is that now private hospitals and industrial establishments have been allowed to procure the vaccines directly from the manufacturers. So far, the vaccine was being provided only by the government sources through the central government, which then shared doses with the state government, and the state governments in turn passed on the doses to the local district level health authorities. That is now changing, and therefore private centers, private hospitals could actually reach out to Serum or Bharat Biotech or Dr. Reddy's to procure vaccines directly. Now, while this framework has been made relatively easier, and there is some form of loosening of control, again, the reality is that the success of this would only be um, in context of the availability of vaccines. Now, our view here at Anviti is that shortage of vaccines and supply constraints are going to continue for a foreseeable future, up to 2 to 3 months. And therefore, any organization right now planning to commence on-site vaccination in the next 2 to 3 weeks may not fructify in most parts of the country. And if we are looking at broader states where a lot of our industrial and workplaces, offices are currently functioning, all those states from Maharashtra to Karnataka to Delhi, Haryana, UP, West Bengal, Tamil Nadu and Telangana are facing huge shortages of vaccines um, right now. An important thing that I also wanted to highlight here is that all the current doses that are left unutilized till the 30th of April, the government is going to withdraw all those doses, and all those doses would then be, taken into the account of the central government, which it would go into the quota of the central government, which the central government would then use for its vaccination drive or for people above 45 only through the government vaccination centers. So that's an important change there. Tanvi, we are not able to see the screen, so I think there may be a problem. Right. You could go down, please.
Can you see now? Okay.
Yes, yes. Now each private vaccination center, including the already registered vaccination center, has to declare on CoWIN the vaccination type, stocks of vaccines, and the prices decided by the vaccination center to be charged to citizens for vaccination starting from 1st of May. Again, this is an important point. So far, if any one of you registered yourself on CoWIN app, you could not have seen what vaccine is going to be provided. And of course, there were no charges displayed because everybody knew that the vaccine is going to be costing 250 rupees per dose. However, now that the differential pricing has kicked in, there are multiple level of complications here, which we would like to highlight. One is that so far the government has, or the manufacturers have only declared the procurement prices for state and private vaccination center. State is not under discussion here because it's not relevant to us. So we will only concentrate on private vaccination centers. So currently the rates are 600 rupees for Covishield and 1200 rupees for Covaxin. Now, the private vaccination center at this point in time have no visibility or direction or guidance from the government as to what amount they in turn can charge towards administration of vaccines. Earlier, an amount of 100 rupees was being paid to private centers for vaccination within the 250 rupee price, 150 rupees for vaccination and 100 rupees for administration. But at this point in time, we don't know what is that price differential going to be. Additionally, since now the state governments are empowered to oversee and deploy vaccinations across their respective states, We don't know whether the state governments will intervene and put a price cap on what is the maximum administration charges that any private center could charge. So that is still unknown. In addition to that, you may have heard that certain state governments have already gone ahead and announced that they will cover vaccination free for all their citizens. Now, we are not sure whether this free vaccines would be distributed via only the state-owned government vaccination centers, or would it be a universal free scheme? Uh, Barring the state of Delhi, no one else has clarified this so far. So that clarity also remains to be seen. But we believe that leaving this open at this point in time will lead to different pricing for the same vaccine across different parts of the country, depending on what the state government does in terms of price capping, if it does any price capping anyways. But we have seen that in RT-PCR tests, different state governments did go ahead and price the cap the prices of the testing. But we also saw that there was a huge variance between state to state with regards to what that pricing would be. And therefore, if that translates to vaccine as well, this could present a challenge to our clients in terms of their being able to budget for the amount that they need to for covering vaccines for their employees. The other area that would get potentially impacted is the fact that now there are multiple candidates of vaccines that already have been approved. So there are 3. There would be more in future, and all these vaccines would be at different price points. Once again, if you overlay that with the reality of availability of vaccines and not non-availability of vaccines, there could be situations where only certain doses from certain manufacturers would be available at certain point in time, and therefore it could be a higher or a lower priced vaccine, and you as organizations, if you're planning to cover and budget for those vaccines, will have to take that reality also in mind, where perhaps your Calcutta office employees could have access only to a higher price vaccine compared to, say, for example, your employees working in some other states. So that is something that one has to take into account as well. However, what the government has said that on paper, any vaccination center will have to publicly declare that about what doses they are offering and what manufacturer and what is the price of those doses, so that the end consumer can actually go ahead and make an informed choice. So this is a change that is expected to go live after 1st of May. Then if you could go down, please. The private vaccination centers will be able to activate their CoWIN app for appointments, etc. only after the information is provided to the district immunization officer, and a proper survey is made of the location, and it is ascertained that the center fulfills all the requirements. Once again, all another difference is that so far you could register either through the CoWIN app, or you could have walked into a vaccination center to get yourself vaccinated. Starting 1st of May, there would be no walk-in registration allowed. And this is useful to know, because a lot of vaccine aggregators were actually using the walk-in registration pathway to facilitate a lot of green channel solution for their clients, etc. Now that may not be possible anymore, because all the registrations will have to be necessarily done through the CoWIN app. Even like so far I've mentioned that even if your vaccination process is happening on site, you would still need to be mapped to a vaccination center, either a vaccination center which is your establishment yourself, or if you don't have the infrastructure, with a private vaccination center outside, any private vaccination center outside your building or premises. So there would be no walk-in registration. So that's an important point and a takeaway that we wanted to highlight here. So we may not in future get any proposals around assisting and facilitating through various green channels or red carpets or call you what you may, uh, assisted concierge service for vaccination of corporate employees. Um, Again, the vaccination, as the regulation says, will only cover the employees of that said organization. So therefore, extended family members and dependents may not be able to avail the facility of the on-site vaccination. So that's an important point. This is our interpretation of the circular there. Of course, a lot of this may change in days to come. As we have seen historically, things change every second day. As of day before yesterday, all eligible citizens could have registered on the CoWIN app, but we know that on the first day, about 1.8 crore people registered and the system crashed. I myself was trying to register for vaccination today, but the system was not allowing me to. So currently, the CoWIN system continues to be glitchy and not very stable. Hopefully, that will improve in few days. But that's the ground reality. I've already mentioned that appointment and online registration of citizens between 18 and 44 years is now mandatory. There would be no facility for walk-in registrations for this group, at least initially. You may hear of stray incidents of people walking into a vaccination center and they've been able to get vaccinated, and that may only happen because the government has left this little leeway around to reduce wastage of vaccination. So if there is an unopened vial and there are no more appointments for that day, so we all know that each vial contains about 10 doses. So if a vial has been opened and 3 scheduled appointments have been given their vaccination and there are no more appointments for the day, then to avoid wastage of those 7 remaining doses, the vaccination center may choose to give it to people who walk in and who do not have any prior appointment. But this would also need to be documented and shared with the district immunization officer. So the records of all such vaccinations would be maintained separately. So Tanvi, can you go down, please? I've already mentioned that the center will continue to vaccinate everybody above 45 years of age, free of cost through the government vaccination center and at payment for private vaccination center. However, the only difference would be that the payment at vaccination center, private vaccination centers will no longer be 250 rupees, but it would be, based on the revised pricings that would be shortly declared by the respective private vaccination centers. But we know that they would be definitely in upwards of 600 rupees plus and 1200 rupees plus plus, plus being the administration charges at the minimum. So that's that. At least that much is known. Till such time that we get the charges from the private vaccination centers, we don't know what the end pricing would be. I think all of this is fairly repetitive. It was repetitive in the circular as well. So that essentially are the broad changes that have happened. So from a single structure, now we are going to be moving into a dual pricing structure and a multi-tier approach. So union government taking care of everyone above 45 years and above, state governments taking care of population size between 18 to 44, industrial establishments and workplaces being allowed to either register themselves as COVID vaccination centers or map themselves to private vaccination centers. No more walk-in facilities allowed. everyone will have to necessarily register themselves on the CoWIN app at the minimum 24 hours prior and get an appointment. And so these are broadly the salient changes that have been proposed post 1st of May. So at any point in time, you are talking to your providers, or you're reaching out to us to speak to providers, we'll have to keep in mind these broad realities. Now, all of this that I've been speaking about, over the last maybe 45 minutes has again been thrown up in the air, because today, barely 2 to 3 hours ago, uh, if you've had a chance to glance at the headline, it says that the Supreme Court has now come down very heavily on the union government. Uh, on one, of course, the fact that uh, the Supreme Court now maintains that government has to uh, ensure that all vaccinations around COVID are made a part of the national immunization strategy. So, then if you could just, yeah, come down, please. Yes. Keep coming down. We will go to that. Yeah. Point number 5. India must allow national immunization model, which had been followed through since independence. So for those who follow the National Health Program, you would know that certain immunizations and vaccines are a part of the national immunization strategy, pulse polio being one example. Right? These vaccines are provided largely free of cost to a vast section of population in the country. Of course, there are private options also available, but almost 80 to 85% of the population of this country, gets free polio vaccines. Similarly, the government is now, the Supreme Court has observed that India should follow national immunization model. Further on, it says that pricing issue is extraordinarily serious. The poor people cannot find money to get vaccinated, and we cannot have a private sector model. Now, please note, this is not a Supreme Court judgment. It is only an observation and guidance at this point in time. But it again, throws up things in the air, and complicating issues furthermore. This directionally only shows that now the Supreme Court is getting into the mix, and is taking cognizance of the fact that a private policy on vaccination and a private pricing model on vaccination is perhaps not tenable, and it could create affordability and access issues to large section of population in the country, therefore impeding our efforts towards herd immunity. So that's what it is at this point in time. Unfortunately, as much as we try ourselves at Anviti to try and uncomplicate, issues around vaccination, they just keep getting more and more complicated. And also, once again, please be mindful that all of this is happening against backdrop of severe shortage of vaccines, and severe shortage of, medical infrastructure. We are all witnessing what is happening around us. Our thoughts are with families that are grieving right now. Our thoughts are also with our brave, frontline healthcare workers who are putting in extra hours every day to ensure that every single life is saved. But that's where we are at this point in time. We will continue to track this as the situation evolves. There are more and more voices. I think different stakeholders would be putting in, their experience and views into the entire vaccination strategy that India needs to take. Supreme Court is involved now. In a nutshell, we don't see improvement or in access to vaccines either through the private channel or the government channel. I mean, in a nutshell. It would take at least 2 to 3 months before supply uh, is supply in adequate numbers is not just restored but augmented and stabilized before any of this could start impacting us and our independent strategies at an organization level as to what we need to do in terms of our employee vaccination. However, having said that, our request and our advice to all our clients would be to continue to encourage your individual employees to take ownership of getting themselves vaccinated, either it's whether it's through Resident Welfare Association, whether it's getting their own appointment, going to the nearest CVC, GCVC, or PCVC, whichever is relevant to them and contextual to them, to get themselves vaccinated. Not really lean a lot upon organization to provide that. At some point in time, we will reach there, but that is some time away. And any sort of delay by any employee hoping that their organization is going to take care of this vaccination, and therefore they themselves not taking any effort to get themselves vaccinated, will only contribute to delay in vaccine rollout, would also contribute delay in us getting herd immunity, and would also put the employee themselves in significant risk of catching COVID infection, given the status that we are in today. So that in a nutshell was an update for this Friday. I of course, we are happy to take questions at this point in time. You could there is a chat box there, and you could punch in your question there. We'll be happy to address them. Okay, we don't have any questions. I hope that we are not very overwhelmed with all the changes that are going on. Is there one?
Wanted to explore how we can utilize the open vaccination program from a corporate perspective. Will there be any support from Anviti?
See, our support is definitely there, but I just wanted to make it very clear here that as much as we want to support you, we are bound by the regulation and the ecosystem around us. The moment government allows private vaccination centers to vaccinate, we were the first one to tell you. Today, we have been in touch with hospitals. We've been in touch with large vaccination centers. All of them singularly have come back to us, whether it is the Apollo group or the Fortis group or the Max group, or even local hospitals like Aditya Birla in Pune, or Shalby hospitals, which are very strong in Gujarat and Western India. All of them have come back to us saying that at this point in time, we don't know when the stocks would be made available to us, and we don't know when the pricing would be made available to us. Now, in the light of that, the moment we get clarity on these two areas, we know what the pricing is, and we have sufficient vaccination stocks, we will partner with you and take the solution to our clients. And when that happens, yes, most certainly we will be at the forefront, in the immunization initiative that your organization will take. We will not only ensure that you get access to the organizations and private vaccination centers who are doing this, we will also provide you options. But for us to be able to do that, we first need to get the supplies in order, and that we think is some time away. Yes, there is a question here. Is that do we have an option to choose the vaccine in the CoWIN app? See, theoretically, yes, but practically, I would say that this might be very difficult because one is that you would not know which vaccination center is stocking which unless you go to every single vaccination center and figure out which vaccine they are stocking. I don't see a situation where a single vaccination center, let's say in your pin code you choose let's say Apollo Hospital as your vaccination center. I don't see Apollo vaccination center it could be any, I'm just using the word Apollo, would be having a choice of 3 vaccines. They would be perhaps be carrying just 1 vaccine. Now, it may be possible that within your PIN code, there are other vaccination centers that are offering a different vaccine, but you may have to go to each of those vaccination centers, individually, to figure out, what vaccines they have in stock. But yeah, I mean, the government has indicated that all vaccination centers will have to put out what dose they are using, what dose are they stocking, and what is the price of that vaccine, and who's the manufacturer. Okay, so thank you so much for being here with us. Once again, we'd like to give you back your 13, 12 odd minutes. I know these are difficult times, and we are trying our best to help as much as we can. Our thoughts are with all the families that have lost their loved ones. Our thoughts are with you, your organization, and we just hope that things get better sooner than later. So thank you so much. Please have a safe and a wonderful weekend, and we will meet again next Friday, hopefully with some more updates.